Hello, my sewing friends. This is Friday Sews. I'm Jen, and this is not my sewing room. No, it is my back lanai, and I'm out here because it is so pretty. This is my chair where I sit at the table with my laptop every morning, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Oh my gosh, it's one of the pleasures of my life. Just being able to come out here and sit is so relaxing, especially in the mornings. I would be in my sewing room, but I've had two kind of technical difficulty things, one with lights and the other with overexposed footage. Yeah, this new phone, I always film on my iPhone, and I got a new iPhone, and apparently it's supposed to be so fantastic in terms of the camera, and I don't know what kind of idiot I am that can't get it to work, but some kind. Okay, well, anyway, sewing. Let's talk about sewing, because this is Friday Sews, when we all talk about sewing and we talk about life. So I'll get to life in a bit. I spent a lot of time in that sewing room this week because I was getting my swimsuit done. If you haven't seen that video, then I will link it up here in the cards and down in the box. I just want to reiterate, if you want to make a swimsuit, you can do it. Seriously, they go so fast. They're so easy. It's, piece of cake. You got this. So I did a lot of that. I started a dress for my neighbor because I told her I wanted to make her a dress, and so I'm still working on that. That is the wide strap maxi dress from Peppermint Magazine, and they worked with LB Textiles on that. So LB Textiles actually made the pattern, and Peppermint Magazine offers it for free on their website. I will link that below. I have some issues with that pattern. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a beautiful pattern. It turns out to be a beautiful dress, is what I mean to say. I made my frugal frock from that pattern, but I have some problems with it. And I wonder if it's just because I'm an American who's used to a big four pattern, honestly, because the way they have you do some of the things is just like, why? There's such an easier way to do that. And the facing on the front never fits. Oh, I don't know why. So anyway, I've run into a few problems with it, and then she tried it on, and so we're working on the fit to get it just right, but I think she's going to look beautiful in it. It's a beautiful print and perfect for the occasion that she's going to wear it, which is tomorrow night. So I'll be working on that later today. I am going to cut out this is some coral chiffon. I have a bazillion yards of this because it was 10 cents a yard. Not even kidding. I will link you to the video where I found that. Oh my gosh, couldn't believe it. It was on clearance at Walmart. It was one of those things that, you take it up to have it cut and it comes up at that, and you go, really? That's all it is? Well, give me all of it. I think its whole thing was like 8 yards, so it was 80 cents. It was ridiculous. Anyway, it's the perfect thing for a beach cover-up that's a maxi. Well, what I want to use is Butterick 4669, and this is it's actually a nightgown and a robe from, I think, the 1980s. I don't know. Butterick didn't date their patterns back then, at least they didn't print it on the envelope. I've had this since then, really. I got this pattern back then, and I remember that I never used it. So it's a size small, and so part of what I did this week was adapt this pattern to a bigger size so it will fit me. It's fairly loose fitting. I mean, it's a robe. It's not like it's fitted, and I had to go to a lot of trouble, but it does have a flutter sleeve, and because of that, the armhole is fairly small and tight, because armholes were smaller in older patterns. So I adjusted that, and as much of a big four pattern lover as I am, I have to say, I made the Eva dress from Tessuti Fabrics and Patterns a while ago, and I had a lot of criticism for that pattern in terms of the way that the dress was constructed. But I have to tell you that I have gone back to that bodice to use it either as the bodice for a dress or to fit another thing so many times. That pattern was drafted for fit amazingly. So yeah, my hat is off to Tessuti because man, that pattern fits like a dream. Well, anyway, I used it to help me with this bodice. So yeah, I think this is going to be really nice, and it's kind of swimsuity, you know, and it's very it's chiffon, so of course it's very sheer, and I just think it's going to look beautiful, and I think it'll dry really fast when it gets wet. So yeah, so I worked on that pattern, and I got to tell you, that's for Sew Maxi for Mother's Day. And then Kim's dress is Sew Maxi for Mother's Day. These are 2 maxi dresses that I'm doing. Well, that's not a dress, but you know what I mean. And I need to cut out my maxi for Mother's Day, since Mother's Day is May 9th in the US, and that is this Sunday. So gotta get going on that too. I guess I'm gonna like never come up for air from my sewing room ever again. Yeah, that's okay. Because it's my happy place. I love it in there. So I want to take some time here and just show you some shots of people who have made a maxi for the hashtag Sew Maxi for Mother's Day challenge over on Instagram. And there so many of them are just gorgeous. And I want to show you some of those. So here are some of those. Right? I mean, golly, so many beautiful, beautiful dresses. So don't forget, you can do this. You can make a maxi. You have until May the 16th. All you have to do is make it. Doesn't have to be fancy. Just make something that makes you feel great, that you'll feel good in, and that you love to wear. That's bright and bold, because you noticed all of those dresses are very bright and bold. So something like that, and then take a picture, post it on Instagram, tag it, hashtag Sew Maxi for Mother's Day, and then also be sure and tag Crystal from Crystal Sews and Stuff, and then T at Crumpets Tea and Sewing, so that they will know that you are in it this year, and they'll be able to easily find you so that you may win one of the prizes, because there are a lot of prizes in this challenge. I mean, it's kind of a big deal. So yeah. Okay. One last sewing thing. I have these fabrics from Hawaii Fabric Mart, and I love them. And I have the same print in 5 different colorways. In fact, when I did the fabric haul for these, I think I was sitting out here, as I recall. Anyway, I have them, but I've only got a yard of each one of them, because actually I wanted them, but I wasn't sure which one I wanted, and I couldn't decide, so I just got them all. So I'll probably come up with some kind of a color blocking or thing that doesn't take more than a yard of fabric thing for them. But I was thinking about it, and I thought, you know what? I would really like to have a couple of those. So I ordered fabric from Hawaii Fabric Mart, and it came. And I was going to show you taking it out of the box. Actually, I did film it, but yeah, it was all overexposed. So anyway, so here it is. Here is one of them. I got 3 yards. This is just a cotton, like 100% cotton, but it's not like a quilting cotton. It's crisp, but it's got a fairly soft hand. Like, it feels soft. It feels like a polished cotton. Not like a sateen, but more like a polished cotton. And it's, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it so much. I love the bold print. I love how big it is. And I'm in love with this fabric. So I got that. That just needs to be washed. Toss that over there. And I got it in blue. Because man, look at this blue. I love this fabric, and it's only like $3.99 a yard. It's not that expensive. I mean, for the quality that you get, it's just such a great deal. And I just, you should go over to Instagram and follow Hawaii Fabric Mart, because you won't be able to get over all of the great stuff, and you will find yourself ordering things from them. The last thing I got was something I've seen several times on the website, and I've always been amazed that it's so cheap. This was only $2.99 a yard, and I can never figure out why that is. I wonder if they got a bunch of it and then have just been trying to get rid of it. I don't know. Maybe they've had it for a long time. Maybe it's like dead stock or something. But it's this beautiful rayon, and it is so gorgeous. I'm going to get up and show you. This is a print that goes on the cross grain. So you can see it's about 60 wide. So here is the selvage. This is what it looks like on the selvage. Look at these colors. Oh my gosh. How gorgeous. Just beautiful, beautiful. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I got 3 yards of it, and it's about 60 wide. So I'm thinking I can cut this on the cross grain, and then my design will be vertical. And I don't know what I'm going to make with it, but I will figure out something. And if I absolutely love it, maybe I'll get more. I don't know. I do have a moo pattern from Hawaii Fabric Mart that I could use to make this. So I don't know. I just got these colors. They're just so vibrant, And, rayon challis, it's just so soft and drapey and pretty. Can't get over it. Okay, so that was Hawaii Fabric Mart. I think that's all the sewing. So on the life front, went to the beach to christen my swimsuit with my BFF. We went to Nokomis Beach, and we saw a manatee. It was amazing. I tried to film it, but there were all kinds of people on the beach, and they all got in my way, and it was hard. You can't see when the sun is so bright. You can't see the screen on your phone. So I'm like, I can't see that. I've got sunglasses on, and I'm trying to, So I really didn't get any good shots of it, even though I did try and get some video. But it was just cool. Manatees are so cool because they are like the mermaids of the sea. And when my twins turned 30 in January, they went swimming with manatees. So I'll show you some shots of them. Apparently you get mermaid kisses. And so you just hold very still and they want to come up to you. I think it was at some springs, because the manatees in Florida, when the water starts to get colder in the Gulf, they come in through the waterways and they go to the springs, so to warm up. 2 other life things that I want to tell you about. First of all, I listen to audiobooks constantly, and when I say constantly, I truly mean constantly. I read a lot of romance and I read a lot of sci-fi, and I just read 2 books that were amazing. I have such a book hangover now from the one I finished last night. It's by Andy Weir, who is the guy that wrote The Martian. If you're familiar with that book, and then the movie with Matt Damon. But this is called The Hail Mary Project. And it was so good. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And it was narrated by one of my favorite narrators ever. His name is Ray Porter. And I still have it in my head. I mean, I loved it so much. I kind of want to go back and read it again, like right away. It was so good. So I cannot recommend it enough. It's a lot of sci-fi. I mean, it's a lot of science, to be honest. It's a lot of biological chemistry. And so, if you're not into that, you won't like it. But, he goes into a lot of detail about how things work and what they're made of and why and all that kind of thing. And I just eat that stuff up. So anyway, it's a wonderful story of friendship, and it's just so good. And the other one I read was called The People We Meet on Vacation, and it's by Emily Henry. Emily Henry is an author that I absolutely adore. I will automatically buy whatever book it is that she has written because she's just written so many amazing books. Pretty much every book she's written, I've rated 5 stars. Yeah, she's that good. Well, this is a book about a couple of people who are best friends, and it's the story of their relationship. So it's a romance. It's not really women's fiction, and it's not really like the quickie serial romance. It's like the bridge between those. And so it's not like a family saga, and it doesn't have a lot of side characters. It just has, the relationship with these two people and how it evolves. So yeah, it was so good. Oh, it's kind of funny. You finish books like that and then you go on to whatever's next and you think, this better be good. A lot of times it's not really fair for the next book because it's like, you have such high expectations. So there's that. And then the other thing is I have a black thumb. Okay, the gardening gene apparently has skipped me. I don't know why. My grandma Filson could grow anything. In fact, there's a scene in a movie called Fly Away Home about a little girl and her dad is talking to her about her mother. Her mother has died in a car accident, and he says she could plant a tire and grow a car. And then they show like this animation of a tire being planted in the ground and a VW bug growing out of it. It's a great scene. And that's my grandma Filson. That's what she was. I mean, she could, honestly, you can take the girl out of the farm, but you couldn't take the farm out of the girl. And she would have tomato plants on her back patio when she was 75 years old. And you know how tomato plants are, especially if you live in the Midwest. You grow tomato plants and zucchini, and you always have too much, and you always have to give it all away. And everybody that you want to give it to has already grown their version, their crop of too many. It's like, you're always glad when you don't grow things and then everybody else does and they all give you this stuff. So anyway, so she always had something growing. So you would think, since I got her sewing gene and her eye for decorating, I would have gotten the gardening and the cooking gene too. But no. Oh no. Black thumb. Consulting with my girls because we got into a discussion about this on our group chat that we have, and they were all showing off all their plants. And in fact, the twins are the ones with most of the plants, and McKenna, who lives here in Florida, had all kinds of plants, but she has a tomato plant that she said the fruit won't grow. She's like, it won't fruit. And then her twin sister, Emma, who lives up north in the frozen tundra of Minneapolis, we are always saying, why don't you move down here? Why don't you do that? Why? And so in her apartment, she has like this jungle of tropical plants. Like it's ridiculous. And they're all alive and thriving and doing so well. And I said, Emma, I think the universe is trying to tell you something. She laughed. They all laughed. It was kind of funny. And then I took a picture of, me sprinkling poison on the fire ants, which are all out in my yard and in my front yard. And I told them I think I'm sending my yard mixed messages because I want things to grow, but I'm trying to kill all the ants. Yeah, anyway. Me and gardening. I need help. Oh, I can sew, but I can't garden. Yeah. Okay, I think that's about it for Friday Sews. Have a great weekend. Let me know what you're doing. Let's talk about all that in comments because I love chatting with you. Let me know what you're up to. And yeah, you know what? If you want to see a fabric haul where I talked about these, then just check right here. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.